your hand.
और कोई है? हाँ? बोला? यहाँ पे है और कोई? Ingrid is there. Okay. Sadgunath Maharaj ki jai. So welcome everybody to our second day and rice and dal and papad with a shok. Does everybody remember from yesterday in this particular kitchen what is the first thing that needs to happen? Very good. Yeah, go ahead.
We're
Okay, great. Just wanting to make sure everybody is listening. And I am going to request so that let's make sure that everybody tries to hold their attention and their focus right here, not trying to have secondary or third conversations going on. Just let's keep a focused approach here. Ashok's gonna start with, what are you gonna start with?
And I can start with the measuring cup.
With which one?
Measuring cup.
Measuring cup, okay.
So this is the measuring cup, and I take four person can have in one cup. And the grain which I'm using is called tur dal.
Okay.
So everybody knows tur dal, I think.
Torta Jorse, Torta Jorse.
Tur dal, okay? I'll show you what tur dal is.
Upar nahi hai.
ये बोल दो उनको?
हाँ, बोलो.
आप बोलो.
नहीं, आप बोलो.
So what I did in the morning, because it takes me a long time to do the celery, for 30 people it takes me like half an hour to 40 minutes to saute. I like the things get brown, like onions, but I use celery. So that's why I checked with Devyani, can I do it in the morning early? So I boiled the dal with the celery in it. But for new people, when you cook at home, it's only for 3 or 4 people. You can saute the celery in like 10 minutes and then boil the dal separate, and then I will show you how to use all the spices for magic in it.
What is this pot? What is this pot called?
Pressure cooker.
A stainless steel pressure cooker?
Yeah, but you don't need pressure cooker for like at home. It's, I think it's better to cook in a small pot. Boil.
But pressure cooker's faster than this.
Yeah, but for like here it's for big amount of people, but for home it takes only like 20 minutes. Hello?
एक मिनट वो डाल के बताइए.
So this is tur dal.
And you have different types of dal. You have tur dal and you also have oily tur dal, right? So oily
Yes.
tur dal, so you're using just the regular split piece,
Yeah.
just the regular dry one,
Yes.
right? Not oily.
Not oily.
Okay. So how many, you did 4 of those?
No, I did 7
Okay. For 30 people.
because you wanted to cook and all that.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the magic now. What do you want to start?
And which oil are you going to use?
All of them can use ghee.
Ghee. Okay.
Ghee.
For tur dal.
Yeah. But I'm going to use oil.
Okay. Ghee वो अब ghee कर दो. Ghee कर दो. ghee नहीं.
जब मौसम ऐसा है ना फिर जाम हो जाता है.
ठंडे मौसम में बाद में घी.
So they're saying that when the weather is cold, so technically then you go more with the oil versus the ghee. Otherwise the ghee, they're saying that it jams up. But वो शरीर के अंदर और
नहीं, बाहर.
yeah. In the dal, if it's cold weather, the dal, the ghee tends to stay together. It doesn't dissolve as well. जो flame के ऊपर?
नहीं
नहीं, बाद में
बाहर
निकाल
रखते हैं, बाद में अगर परोस रहे हैं तो ज़्यादा टाइम लगता है, ठंडा हो जाता है।
असिस्टेंट है मेरा। So this is the amount of
Oil.
oil. Can you everybody can see?
No, ऊपर, ऊपर. Higher up, basically. Oh.
Like covered the bottom of the pan.
What kind of oil is that?
Peanut.
Today peanut oil.
Okay.
उसको बोलो तेल गरम होना चाहिए। तेल।
Okay. So he's saying that that you have to wait for the oil to get hot. Yes.
I haven't used ghee that much and I tried, but I noticed it does get hot differently. Can you say anything about
वो
that?
जो घी के बाद में वो फिर से वो ऐसा लगता है वो घी वो थोड़ा अलग से वो गर्म हो जाता है। वो जो peanut oil, coconut oil वो सब अलग वो ज़्यादा टाइम लगता है और same है। वो
नहीं नहीं घी जल्दी गरम होता है।
Yeah, he's saying that definitely the ghee gets hot much quicker. Yeah.
The olive oil एकदम फट से होता
And
है।
he said the olive oil is the same. That also gets hot very quickly.
तो स्टेप बाय स्टेप आप बढ़ते
हाँ,
जाएंगे। ठीक है ना?
ठीक है. And once we get the dal like in the pot and all that, before we go to the rice, I'm going to request Ashok to just share a few minutes about his love for cooking and when that started and why he enjoys cooking so much.
Why I started?
अभी नहीं वो dal.
I'm going to put in first.
Okay, so he's going to do hing first.
इतना पता नहीं क्या।
Huh.
What is hing?
Hing is asafoetida.
Okay.
Then cumin seed.
And then the cumin.
Then bay leaf.
So bay leaf, that's one that I think many people don't use that. So that's
Cardamom.
something you definitely want to make a note of. Bay leaf.
Clove, black pepper, and small cardamom.
ये इतना हो जाएगा वो सब लोग के लिए।
Some little bit of celery. क्या हो जाएगा? हो जाएगा। कल बनाया था ना? खाई पी लिए लोग को।
हाँ? क्या क्या? हाँ, खा सकते हैं।
This has to be golden brown, or it's up to your taste. How brown you want.
For those of you who use onions and garlic, this would be the point where you have the onions and garlic in there as well, and sauteing it all brown.
And some chopped ginger.
Is the flame on high?
Flame on high or
No, clear. Put out high and the celery will stick. Green chili. green chilies.
Green chili? Secret over
Just a little bit. You don't know. You got it. Then we have to mix the tomatoes. वो बोलने का ये optional है.
And this is optional, he's saying. You can put the coriander stems, like we talked about yesterday, using up the stems chopped fine. You can add the coriander stems also to the dal. We talked a little bit about yesterday how usually with coriander you take off the leaves and then the stem usually doesn't really get used much. But here we try to even use that, chop that up fine, and put that into your stocks or put that into your dals or vegetables or any of those items.
हम लोग कभी लाएगा.
Okay, so everybody, we can start the production of everybody coming around one by one, and you can stir the magic and get a feel for it and actually get a visual. So go ahead, Gil. And Ashok, do you want to maybe just share a little bit with everybody, like how long you've been cooking, where you first started cooking, why you started cooking? बोलो थोड़ा सा बोल. It'll come out. We got to give it a few minutes. It has to percolate. Huh? When did you first start cooking?
I think the main I started cooking in Livingston.
In Livingston, New Jersey. So that was, what year was that? Anybody? 1980. What? 1989. Okay.
But Ashok was saying, you said when you used to go to Ganeshpur.
No, I used to, but I used to work in kitchen.
That's
Then I started cooking in mostly when I came first time to America, and just was having broccoli, and I used to like so I was fed up and everything.
Yeah, he was fed up with the Western cooking because there was nothing else. That's all we had was salads and things like that in Livingston. So he said, I got to start cooking. So he started cooking there in Livingston, and then dire.
I got hooked.
He got hooked. He got hooked.
But I love cooking.
What?
I love food. I love to eat.
And he's very fond of looking up recipes, like, and reading books, and also like on the internet now, reading recipes, and then trying to develop his own thing from that. So he's always experimenting. No fear.
Did somebody teach you when you were like a little child? Were you like in the kitchen at home?
No, I used to in Ganeshpuri. I had a seva in kitchen. Clean up the pots and these things. Modi's father was the boss.
Oh, wonder, the cooking.
And I have to say that Ashok's specialty is cooking for large crowds. He can do it with absolute ease, no problem, anywhere, any country, any ingredients, no fear, nothing.
And here Sharma ji is my boss also.
Oh yeah, DJ
His father.
Sharma. Yeah, DJ
His
Sharma.
father. In Pine Bush.
And one thing that I actually wanted to share that I forgot about was that I think that also the beauty of the ashrams and the cooking is that technically, like say Ashok is Maharashtrian, right? He's from Maharashtra. So from that region, like say Hoa is from that region. But technically, like he can make great South Indian food. Why? Because we lived in South India and he learned it from the South Indians. He can make great North Indian food, matar paneer, rajma, all of the North Indian dishes because we stayed in the North, so he learned all of that from there. So I think one of the key things is that learning it from that particular, like I'm sure like with Italian, there's Italian food from Tuscany, there's Italian food from Florence, there's Italian food from Rome, whatever. It varies region to region. So that's the beauty of the ashram cooking, because even like sometimes when the Gujarati ladies come here, or the South Indians, they'll be like, we love having the poha at the ashram because your guys' poha is like, it doesn't come like this at home. They're Indians, they make poha, but it doesn't come anything like what we serve here. Nothing. Same thing with the sambar, same thing with the lemon rice, same thing with the dal, like all of it. So we get the best of the best and have learned from all those different people. So we're all very lucky. Because we get the authenticity, we get the really authentic food. Yeah, go ahead.
Dhania jeera powder.
Okay, so now cumin powder and coriander powder.
This is just it's a color.
We went through that yesterday, the chili powder, because everybody saw the chili powder and thought, oh wow, that's a lot, but it's more the color. This one doesn't have the strength of the chilies and turmeric.
Is that not chili powder?
It's a very mild, it's similar to paprika, but it's got a little bit of a kick to it, but not much. Not like the regular red chili powder, yeah. Very weak. More for color, yes.
Yesterday, did you talk about the spice?
No, this is coming up on Thursday morning's class.
And this is some garam masala.
और garam masala कौन सा वो spices है उसके साथ साथ है मालूम है क्या हाँ so garam masala is a combination of coriander powder, jeera, cumin powder, cinnamon, black pepper,
clove.
and cloves. So these 5.
These are different brands, different, I mean, because I've gotten some different.
Yeah, you probably, again, the measurements of those 5 ingredients would vary according to which company you get it from. So always like start off with a little bit, see the strength of it, and then from there add more or less. Yes?
2 questions. Do you use the seeds of the tomatoes if you have really seedy tomatoes in your doll?
Do you take the seeds out of the tomato or you just use the seeds and, yeah?
Use the seeds.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to make it spicier, what would you use to make it
If you wanted to make it spicier, what would you add more? Green chilies and red chilies?
No, she can. There is a different kind of chili powder.
Or use the regular red
Yeah.
chili?
Or dry red chilies, no? Or dry red mirch? Dry red mirch, yeah, डाल सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, dry नहीं डाल देगा ये
हाँ,
powder
so
डाल
now show what it looks like now.
फूल ऐसा तेल छूटना चाहिए मसाला
Huh?
जाओ
Yeah, and it's the same thing, he's saying the exact same thing that Prabhu said yesterday. You know when the masala is ready, when the oil starts to separate, okay? When the oil starts to come up onto the, when the oil starts to come to the sides of the pot and separate from the masala, that's when you know it's ready.
So now we are ready to
Okay. Show the consistency of that right now without the water. So that's the consistency of the dal right now before you add the water to it.
And that's just dal and celery. And water. With water.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a
Good.
And then you would always take, like within the Indian cooking, you'd always take that same pot, go fill it with some water and use that water to add to your thing, not just go and grab a bunch of plain cold water from something else. You would always use it, rinse it, and get there.
Are you adding?
Same thing with the coconut milk, any of those, you would always go back and fill those up, use those, rinse them out, get all the flavor.
And then the hard rubber.
I have a question about the peanut oil. Do something other than peanut oil?
और दूसरा oil वो कर सकते हैं क्या? वो peanut oil आपने peanut oil बनाया, लेकिन दूसरा oils वो बना सकते हैं क्या?
Olive oil.
He said you can make it with olive oil. And yesterday we did talk a little bit about the different oils. So like with South Indian dishes, you would use the coconut oil. Because South Indian dishes, that's made from, coconut oil comes from that region. And that they use a lot of it there in their cooking. Some things you would use ghee. Like we were talking about yesterday, sabudana khichdi, what we have on Ekadashi, that little white tapioca. Normally you use ghee for that, but yesterday when we were driving on the golf cart going back to the house, Labarji said we used to always use ghee for sabudana khichdi, and now he said because of the way they make ghee in India, taking the shortcuts, some of what Gurdev has talked about, it's not, the quality of the ghee is not as good, so they use peanut oil now for sabudana khichdi. But according to the dishes, you change it up, whether you use coconut oil, peanut oil, olive oil, and there was a fourth. Ghee, peanut oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. Yeah, there's the four.
The reason why I asked that is because some people might be allergic to peanuts. And
Yeah,
I'm wondering if the oil has the same effect on those people.
yeah. So I would say use the, yeah, you can go with a different oil. Yeah.
Did you cover yesterday about some oils can handle certain temperatures and some can't?
We didn't go into that level.
Sometimes that matters.
So I was saying, I like that he's putting sugar if it got too lemony or something.
Yeah, the
right?
opposite.
So if something gets too spicy, is there an antidote? If you put too, and also if you put too much salt,
Yeah.
is there an
जब
antidote?
ज़्यादा नमक लगाते हैं तो फिर क्या उसका वो जो ऑपोजिट है जो कम करने का क्या करता है वो जो ज़्यादा
काय में?
नमक हो जाते हैं हाँ क्या
इसमें
हाँ
नींबू डाल देंगे.
हाँ if you have too much salt you would put lemon and वो ज़्यादा मिर्ची है तो फिर क्या कम
तो अभी नींबू.
and if you did too much chili then you would do lemon as well.
No
Lemon
kidding.
seems to be the common denominator for balancing it. Yeah.
Too much, but like you have to taste. सैंडी का सॉल्ट विदाउट सॉल्ट निकालने का है,
हाँ
क्योंकि हमको सॉल्ट डालने का है.
Now, are you waiting for this to boil, or are you not going to bring it
Well, I
to
have to
boil?
wait for boil, but I have to take sand. Afterward, I get boil now.
So he's going to bring it to a boil now. So that's what we're waiting for right now. Is waiting for the boil.
If you want, you can wait. Otherwise,
No, we wait.
Oh, that's why we didn't put salt in, we're making it non-salty today?
Well, we always we're making it
No,
with
no,
salt. We always take out for Sandy.
for sanding.
So without
Yeah,
salt.
yeah.
Yes.
Since my question, because I'm on a salt restricted diet, so how would I do something like this? Then just don't put
Just
it
don't put
No,
in
no,
salt.
don't put salt.
Don't put
No,
salt
just
and
leave out the
still-
salt. Yeah.
And then it
Oh, you
tastes.
still have it flavorful. Yeah. Yes.
What is the water to dal ratio?
So dal water, वो कितना measurement है? तो ये अभी आपने कितना? वो this was
ये अभी समझो एक
2
कप
to 1 or 1 to 3 or
है, wine, ये एक कप है ना,
हाँ.
एक फुल, तो उसको बोलने का 3 लेने का.
Huh? So this is 1 to 3. So this would be 1 cup of dal to 3 cups of water. 3 of this, same. To cook dal, yeah.
And then you add just to.
Yeah, and then if you see, because if the water is getting low, then add more water. but it should be hot water.
Did you saute the celery first, or put the dal and the celery into
No,
the?
I
Today
did
he
today.
did the celery, remember, in the pressure cooker.
Right,
But if you were to saute the celery,
so when he was doing the pressure cooker, did you saute celery first, then put the dry
Yeah,
dal
I
in
did.
the
I
water?
saute the celery first, and then I added the dal.
Dry dal.
But at home,
And then water.
you boil the dal separately, not adding anything.
Oh.
So when the dal is boiled, then you start doing, first thing you saute the celery, or if you are adding
add the
onion,
celery to
then you add the dal. Because otherwise it takes time.
Put celery.
उसका निकाल दे.
Sandy So we'll also be going over, we'll also be reviewing this week the Vogue offering. Once the food is ready, and what the prayer is, and how we do it, and with the water and all the, we'll also be sharing that this week as well. Yes,
Do you ever use mustard seed oil in a dal?
do you ever use mustard seed oil in the dal?
It depends on, yeah.
Which one?
Mustard seed?
Yeah, which dal?
Mustard oil.
Oil.
No, no, no. I
No,
don't
never.
understand. Nah, people use, but I don't use.
Okay.
North Indian.
North Indian.
In North India.
Mustard seed oil is stronger.
So strong.
बाद में बोलेगा ये ऐसा वाला चॉप ऐसा जिंजर डालने का
So again, we have the ginger matchsticks, so if you want to do the slivered ginger, you can. Or
It's optional.
Kali aise dalne ka, or kuch roast karne ka.
नहीं नहीं ऐसे
And then you're just going to add that in just like that, just raw, not sauteed or anything like that.
if you have free time to chop it.
So this is in addition to the ginger we already
Yeah.
put in?
Yeah. Just And in Baba's days, we used to always add kohlrabi. So kohlrabi, so sliced kohlrabi, you peel it, and then you would slice it and put the slices in there just like the matchsticks of ginger. Yeah, so kohlrabi.
What's that?
What is that? Kohlrabi.
Remember the UFO plug?
It's like that. It has stalks out of it. You have to like. It's firm. It looks like when you slice it, it looks like a potato, like potato slices.
No, that's not.
But it's not. But it's a vegetable. It's the same family.
Well,
as
he's like
broccoli.
the stem of the broccoli.
So maybe it is a broccoli rabe. So maybe.
No, broccoli rabe, no.
It's a round thing, and how you know it is the weirdest looking stem stalks.
We have it here
We grew it here and no one knew what it was. Is it white?
from cabbage
Kind
family.
of yellow white.
So now he just added the salt. Did everybody see that?
Yes.
Probably not.
Yeah, the salt.
अभी ऐसा
People were talking. Yeah, I saw that.
What? Let everybody come around again. So I think one by one, everybody come around one more time. See the finished product, see the finished dish. Stir it, get a feeling of the weight of it, thin or thick. Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody come around.
See what's in there, I don't know.
Infuse it with your love and your joy for cooking and the mantra. Don't forget.
यही है दीदी आलू चाहिए दीदी का आलू चाहिए
हाँ वो है तो अच्छा है। हाँ वो सबसे अच्छा है। हाँ किधर है सर?
रेडी है
किधर किधर रखिए? अच्छा उधर है।
आज का
जैसे मुझे चाचू ने
छोटा सा
Thank you.
so everybody knows, so you have tur dal, you have chana dal, you have yellow moong dal, you have green split moong, you have green whole moong, you have urad dal, and just so you know, on the dals, so this one is like just a regular tur dal, right? Dal fry, I would have to say that normally when a shok makes the dal fry, it would be more like in one of our low pans on here, where you actually like kind of grill it back and forth, and it gets like it gets thicker than this one. Very, very delicious. It has a little bit probably more oil so that it doesn't stick, but it's very, very flavorful. One that we get at all the dhabas and all the little stalls in India. Also, if you were to add cinnamon, cloves, sugar, and make it even thinner, you would end up with, and cinnamon sticks actually, you'd end up with Gujarati dal. So Gujarati dal is usually an all-time favorite of many, many, many people, with adding the sugar to it and making it sweet and very fragrant with the cinnamon and the cloves. Urad dal is more of a North Indian dal, not a very popular one in the ashrams. We usually kind of stay away from it a little bit. They say sometimes with urad dal, I think over the years, at least maybe it was an old wise tale or something, or a superstition, but they always said that urad dal makes you like a little bit inert. It makes you like kind of like jud, you know, like that inertness, that lethargic. It gives you, it has a different property to it. It's not as like kind of vibrant, I think, and active as maybe the other dals.
Yeah. Which of the, so you can see now like the large black things
Black
in
cardamom.
it? Yeah. Oh,
Black
that's
cardamom.
black cardamom. Okay. Black
Dark cardamom, large black cardamom.
चावल का इनको बता देता है सही
हाँ ठीक है, हाँ
समझा देता
हाँ,
है
तो आप हाँ, वो एक उधर और एक इधर, बनाने वाला,
बनाने का
अभी बनाने का, हाँ
नहीं नहीं अभी ये चावल
हाँ।
देता है कुकर का
हाँ
अभी बता देता है कैसे अभी सोख नहीं करता
ठीक है, तो आप जो भी ऐसे करना है और अभी शुरू करते हैं.
अच्छा
So now he's going to move to the rice, and he's going to do the first one, the rice in the actual rice cooker.
इसको क्वांटिटी बता देता है ना अभी so same cup but like this much for 3 people but I think you people eat less rice so you can also count 4 बराबर ये लोग कम ज़्यादा है
हाँ.
Indians eat yeah so 3 cups so we are going to rinse it now 3 times.
So how many cups of rice do you
This
have in
is,
there right now? For
8.
30 people, 8 cups of rice in there, 8 of these.
8 of these.
So 8 times 3, because you said 3, about 3 per person, so
Yeah.
that's 24, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
24.
So 24 serves of that, and we're 30 people.
Yeah.
So we're making less
Less.
rice because not everybody eats that much rice. Some people just have
Yeah,
dal.
because
Okay.
yesterday also we made and then
Leftover.
leftover.
Okay, got it. All right, so we're actually doing 24 rice. All right, okay.
दो दे फिर बताते हैं उसको. Everybody has rice cooker or they don't?
Yay, raise your hand if you have rice cookers. Okay, and regular pot rice, so yeah, so we'll do both. Yeah, so we'll do both.
तो फिर rice cooker में नहीं बनाते.
हाँ? नहीं, दोनों करने दो.
हाँ?
हाँ. हाँ.
ठीक है.
And I would say, again, another specialty of a shok's rice is no matter how many people he's cooking rice for, it never comes out mushy. It always comes out, each grain of rice, because they always say it should stand up, and it should be in such a way that when you go to serve it, it's just rice. There's not moisture in there, there's not water in there, there's not any kind of residue in there that still is going. His is always dry, and it's always like standing up. So that's all to do with the measurements. So definitely you're like learning rice from the right person.
He always uses basmati rice.
Do you always use basmati rice? Jasmine rice?
No, I use basmati and then there's a different
Amra?
No, that's it's kolam, surti kolam.
Okay.
Small rice, but it's only available in Indian store.
Sure.
Yeah. Because if I put jasmine rice, then sometimes it's different, it comes sticky and everything. But for every day, basmati is not good. It gives you too much gas.
Okay, so that's a good thing to know.
What about the brown rice?
What
Brown
about
rice is good.
It's good.
But I soak brown rice for at least 2 hours
Oh,
and then I make so it becomes separate.
more digestible.
I missed so for each of those, how much water? Each?
No,
Three?
if-
1 to 3?
These, if you are making in pressure in this cooker, rice cooker, so like this is 8 cups, so I'll put 10 cups of water. Same.
8 cups of rice,
10 cups of water.
Okay. And then you wash it and that,
Yeah, I washed it already.
and then, okay.
Yeah. So now he's going to put it in the pressure
Got it.
cooker.
So you don't soak the basmati rice?
If you want, you can soak it,
But you're
but
not
you have to soak it for half an hour. घी लगाया नीचे घी डाल दो yes
When you soak or clean the rice, are you cleaning the rice because there's like little stones in there, or what do you know, like sometimes Thai rice, we used to clean it because there were like little rocks.
yeah but I think
and
with
take
this rice there are 99% chances and no stone. We just rinse it because there is maybe some spray when they do it all. Yeah, but no like stones and everything. But jasmine rice sometimes has it.
Yeah.
I've seen the really long rice.
The long grain rice?
Yeah. What is it?
This is basmati.
Were you long hair or are you short hair?
No, lamba.
Okay, yeah, this one's the long one.
Oh, okay, because I've seen it, I had never seen it before.
Inna lamba.
That's it.
And the temperature of the water, and
So on. दो चम्मच घी डाल दें। 2 spoon of ghee. The rice cooker.
Is that ghee you're putting in?
Yeah.
Is that only for flavor or is there some other reason for the sticker rice?
No, then it doesn't get sticky. A little bit of salt if you want.
Not done.
It's optional. But we put.
And also with regards to the rices and all of that we serve here. So on different occasions, sometimes it has cumin seeds in it, jeera fried rice for North India, like with rajma. You would do like the kidney beans, the rajma with the jeera rice. There's certain combinations that all go together. The lemon rice, when they add all the lemon to it, and the urad dal and all of that. So that's that South Indian rice that always goes with sambar. Then there's also, sometimes they'll put the lavang, no? Or lavang. They'll put cloves in the rice. Sometimes they'll put saffron in the rice, so to make it festive on special occasions. So again, as you guys eat the rices over different periods of time and stuff, notice which combinations come together, because sometimes those combinations are like repetitive on the menus. Usually if you see sambar, you're always going to see it with lemon rice and then a green beans, the fancy with the coconut, or you'll see it with the cabbage. That certain combinations always go together, so you'll always see those things kind of repetitive and you'll be like, oh, okay, we're having South Indian today. Then you can identify what it is. Yes?
Is it difficult to make ghee?
Is it difficult to make ghee? Apolo.
It's more focus.
What?
It's more focus.
It's more focused to make it.
Yeah, it takes too much time, and then this unsalted butter has to be
So it's
constantly stirring and all that and bring to a certain temperature. If you're not focused, and then maybe it can burn.
The ghee, yeah. So initially here, we used to make our own ghee. We used to buy all these big trays and stuff from the stores, all different types of stores. We experimented with organic, non-organic, unsalted, this, that, and the other, and started to find it when it was on sale, make big things of ghee here. But over time, because of the quality of the butter and the quality of the, what else, Ron, on the whole ghee thing? What ended up happening was, over time, when we started to price it out, now we order like actual buckets of it. They're actually $250 per bucket, $260 per bucket. They're about that high. और प्रबल एक bucket of ghee वो हम लोग इधर के लिए वो कितना समय लगता है वो use करना खत्म हो जाता है.
डिपेंड करता है वो.
हाँ, लेकिन आसपास में.
आसपास 2-3 months.
Yeah, so 2 or 3 months and we're done with that bucket of ghee. So usually we have sponsors who sponsor the ghee here so that we can have it like always in stock here. But yeah, you'll
You can get
definitely.
smaller buckets at that probably.
Yeah. But you'll see even like if you go around and you start to search around like different ghee, the texture of it is different. Guruji has a lot of information on that. So if you ever want to go into like drill into the deeper details of that, see him because it was a work in progress here for a long time. And because of the way the ghee is made now, he wasn't satisfied with a lot of the ones that were not this particular one but other ones. And that's why we finally started getting it from one particular place where the cows are really good, where everything that we get from it is good and all of that. So yeah, that's a nutshell version.
That's that same ghee that's in that container over there of ghee?
Same
In the
thing.
metal?
That's
So the ghee that's there, right? In the
नहीं,
metal?
अभी वहाँ नहीं है.
what's it? Ghee?
अभी उधर नहीं है.
No, this
अभी
is
वो-
not the ghee. No, we have the big
वो
buckets now.
उसमें कोकोनट डाला है.
That's coconut oil. There's coconut oil over there. वो ghee किधर है?
घी अभी नीचे है, वो अभी लाते नहीं. अभी
He
ये
said he
boxes
hasn't
है,
used
तो
that.
अभी
Somebody
ये
bought this, so he's using this one up first.
अभी ये दूसरा राइस रखेगा.
Okay, now how much water did you put in there? Now he's starting on the rice for the stove.
ये तो
स्ट्रेन करते हैं.
जस्ट क्योंकि स्ट्रेन करके निकालेगा ना राइस.
हाँ,
वो
मतलब
मतलब पानी रखा है,
जी।
उसमें चावल डालेंगे थोड़ा,
और
पर
कितना
वो
चावल डालने का आपको?
2 कप, 2 कप डालेंगे.
2 cup rice.
हाँ, क्योंकि बॉईल होएगा ना, स्ट्रेन करके निकाल देगा.
फिर बाद में ऐसा अच्छा नहीं, वो पानी का कोई वो ज़्यादा.
मेरे को समझ में नहीं है.
अभी इसमें 2 कप चावल डालेगा क्या?
Okay, so right now he's just put water in a pot on a stove and he's heating it up, okay? When it boils, he says he's going to put 2 cups of rice in there. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the water. We're going to go
No,
step by
that rest
step.
of the water they have to drain the rice because a lot of starch. People who are like diabetic and all that.
Okay.
This is good rice for them to eat because it has no starch. All the starch and the
It's
thing
going to come out the water.
Oh, wait.
And it's easy way. And for also to make like this kind of rice.
Okay, so let's just watch for a few minutes in silence and see what happens. And notice that the dal is still on the stove, flame is still on, still being stirred. So again, the mixing of all those flavors.
This will at least go 20 minutes.
Another 20 minutes more.
ज़्यादा बॉईल होएगा तो अच्छा टेस्ट होगा.
He said the more it boils, that he said the better the flavor. Better it
On
tastes.
slow flame, low flame. पापड़ देने का है?
हाँ,
Fry.
बताने का नहीं रोस्टेड वाला अब है क्या? हाँ,
उधर है उसमें.
अच्छा, इसमें।
No gluten. Papad is gluten free.
She's very fluid.
And when we come to the papads, so there's many different types of papads.
You can show them.
And there's 2 ways of doing it. One is you can either roast it, so it has no oil, but there's an actual way to roast it so that it gets evenly brown versus and crispy versus getting black in the middle. And then sometimes you end up with that black on different parts or it breaks off on the end. So we'll show you how to do that. And then, or you can deep fry it in oil, of course. And then there's also ones that we're very fond of that go with the South Indian food. Many of you guys have had those sometimes. They're the round red ones, small
These
red
also.
papads.
This.
And then there's another one that's jackfruit papads that are delicious as well, made out of the jackfruit. Sometimes we get those things over here and you see it on some of the celebratory times, but not daily because they're not easy to find. And usually those we have to ship from India, so when a shipment's coming of the black tea or the tea leaves or something, it's like, oh, can you throw a bunch of those papads in there? They haven't, so it's kind of hit and miss. So here we've got the plain papad, the black pepper, green chili, and cumin seeds. So what's everybody's favorite? Cumin seeds, what else? Black pepper. Black pepper, green chili. Okay, so I guess you did it right.
So the tea that you guys just shipped from India, is that different than the tea one would buy in America?
Pretty much. I would have to say yes, because first of all, I mean, what we get here, like if you go for the Western teas, like the Earl Grey or the different black tea, you definitely need loose tea leaves on that one. The strengths of it vary. So there, usually you'll get like, they have so many tea plantations and that's like an export item from there. So technically we get like different, there's tea plantation owners that we know that are in Calcutta or that are up in the North Indian region. So they'll say, oh, we got a really good publisher, let's send you guys this and try that. So ours changes here. We don't use the same tea all the time. So like whatever comes, yeah, so it's always ever new. So, and on Friday, we're gonna give everybody their own tea leaves, yeah, along with another gift as well.
So for us, we use red leaf tea?
Yeah, we can use Red Label. Yeah, Red Label from, or Brook Bond, but I would say Red Label is definitely the one from the Indian stores. Don't go with the other ones. Red Label would be the best. That's the one we used before we started getting our own shipments of tea here, Red Label for sure. And that's the one that's in the red and yellow packet, not the one in the blue and orange. Red and yellow.
Do you get the Taj Mahal here in the Indian stores?
Taj Mahal, do we get that one here? Yeah. Still the preference is the Red Label.
But not
Yeah,
a
because
loose
of
one.
the, what?
Tea bag.
No, you can get those tea Taj Mahal.
Oh,
Indian store?
and just another little,
No, I don't know about here.
Yeah, no, there, yes.
what do you call that? Like trivia, what is that? Like a little trivia, trivia what? Tidbits, yeah. So if you go to places and nobody has like tea leaves, because we've been into every home, every place, everywhere. Some people don't have, and they have tea bags, so what we do is we just open them all up and then dump them all in there. But usually with the tea bags, you have to do like probably 2 or 3 times, you have to double, triple your amount of tea, because it's not strong enough, usually. So there's always a remedy or there's always a resolution for everything.
They don't make cider coffee here.
But,
They don't make cider coffee here.
oh yes, we do. We just had it last week on Thursday with sour cereal by Preble. Yeah, we do make cider cup. Yep, it's a breakfast item with the sour cereal. Trying to keep all those legacies alive. Cider coffee, the sour cereal,
What is
the root
the
drum.
What is the coffee?
The cider coffee, it's a combination of, what do you call it, instant coffee, and it also has regular like coffee that you make through the filter, that, and then you put spices in there, lots of sugar, and mostly it has like cardamom and black pepper, and a few other ingredients, and then you make it together. Yeah, you have to come over
I
to the
love that.
weekdays. Yeah, we usually do that on the weekdays with sour cereal. And now that Preble has imbibed it completely, it'll be on the menu once a week, every week, going forward. So we're still waiting for the waters, getting ready to come to a boil over here.
So if we were doing soup, let's say, I mean, this might be a technicality. Instead of the dal, would the spices be essentially different or really not that different spices?
Would you be wanting to make it like an Indian soup or a
Indian.
Western soup?
No, Indian.
Indian
Yeah,
soup. So if you were making an Indian soup,
Well, don't mean soup. Dallas?
He's asking like, which soup? Like for him, like there's like a mulligatawny soup, you know, there's
So
like
there's
a
different
North
soup.
Indian lentil soup, right? What do we have? Mulligatawny. Looking out the neighbor.
My neighbor.
What?
ये वाला.
The soups that he makes, because I kind of get those like as a standard on weekdays, he'll take either broccoli, or he'll take asparagus, or he'll take pumpkin, or he'll take peas, and he'll make the same magic for each one of those. So his usually has no cream, no dairy, and it usually has ghee bagar, ghee. Yeah, he'll use ghee for the magic, and then he'll do cumin seeds or dusra. And just the ghee, the cumin seeds, and the hing, and that's it. And it tastes delicious, and it's all blended, and it's like perfect soup. So that, but yeah. You can put all
It's
the
good to have that,
recipes,
yeah, because it's elaborate for daily cooking.
Yeah.
If you have that like 3 things, you can have like your basic.
Exactly.
And then change
it
it.
with the vegetables, according to what's there, what's in season. Jira, cumin seeds, yeah. Now he's asking for the rice.
उसमें ज़्यादा रहेगा तो भी चलेगा।
निकालने का है ना.
So he's saying it doesn't matter for the measurement of the water in this, because what you're going to do is once you put the rice in, he said the water, you're going to take the water out. So watch that. Stay tuned.
वो लोग कैसा बनाते चावल में?
He's asking for somebody who makes rice at home to explain how you make rice at home.
If I
Go
may,
ahead.
So I take like 1 cup of rice, and then I would put the water is cold. Put that on, so I put two cups of water, 1 cup of rice, for example, and then put the cover on, and then let it cover it. So you cover that, and then you let
Till it boils.
till it boils. So once it boils, and then take the cover off just a little, and let the steam come out, and then just watch.
And then we make it on low flame. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would just have to say, so that's definitely a difference in Indian cooking. They'll never add cold water to something, 99% of the time. It's like with oatmeal, if you boil the water first, then you throw in the rolled oats. If you do something else, you throw in the millet. If you do something else, so it's always that hot mixture first, and then adding your grain to it, and then going from there. That's the difference, yeah. Yeah.
what about when you make it in a rice cooker? Do you heat up the water?
No, not in there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just for the stove.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
अभी देख चावल इसको बताओ चावल डालने के बाद कितना पानी बहुत पानी है
पानी
तो boil होएगा
बॉयल बस चावल को देखना पड़ता है बीच में।
Okay, so the main thing with this style of cooking of the rice, they're saying is it doesn't matter how much water is in there, the main thing is to keep watching the rice. So once the rice starts to cook, then you're going to start to drain the water, right? For pani nikalne wala hai, huh?
वो स्पून से लेके देखिएगा
से देखने का
And from
चावल
the spoon, you keep checking the rice to see when it's starting to get fully cooked.
फिर
And then at that point, you drain the water straight through. We're going to watch this. First. Do you have a question, Nance? And the dal is still boiling.
It's more spices, but they're not wrong.
Huh? It needs So today's menu is going to be dal, rice, papad, and the aloo methi. And we're going to add potatoes to the methi. So you're going to get to see one full vegetable. Yeah, go be 20 minutes to 12. might be going a little longer today here. You're gonna use that for the meeting? Oh, that'll be fun. Because last week, what day was that? Was that during Navratri? Desera, वो कौन से तारीख को हम लोग वो सब किए इधर? Yeah. वो कौन से? Yeah, so during Navratri, Ashok got a big batch of that mehndi here. So everybody, and I'd come in to get the tali for the bow, and all of a sudden I looked up here, and it was like, the thing was like filled with mehndi, and then he just took like, he didn't even use that, he took the thing of spice, and he just kept putting spoons of spices on there, nothing, you had no idea what was in it, and then just mixed the whole thing, grilled the whole thing, and it was like, wow, yeah, but just again, with such like, ease and freedom, not fearful. I mean, the Argentinians, I think Parvati was here then, Chikla was here, a couple of other people, and they were like, wow, that's amazing, you know? Like, just, yeah, go with the flow. You say like the rice here, within 5 or 10 minutes, is already going to be ready.
So the Métis, the leaves?
Yeah, fresh.
But that would have been the seeds, yeah?
Yeah, not the seeds, this is meaty.
Oh.
Fresh leaves.
Oh, that's right.
Is that the way you make rice? Yeah.
This is the Métis, this is Métis, the fenugreek, and this is the
All your food, Kathy, if it comes out right.
Nimbu ako, ano yung next?
They were saying yesterday that
Gentler sound.
चावल हो जाएगा
और ये चावल कितना टाइम लगता है ये वाला?
5 मिनट 5-10 मिनट उसमें उसको दिखाने का इसके लिए 5 मिनट किसमें जैसे ये वॉल पे आ जाता है ना 5 मिनट के बाद कर देने का और हीट
Okay, or a bar holder. So what Ashok's saying, he's giving another little like tidbit on the rice cooker. So that when it goes from the cook to the warm, after that, you take, with 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, then you unplug it.
Unplug it and then take the lid off
And then let it,
and
yeah.
let it sit without the lid for 10 minutes.
Oh.
So then you will see the rice is standing up. So then it's fine, then it's not good. So
you don't fluff it with the...
afterwards.
What's a good place to shop for water?
Where's a good place to shop for all of these ingredients? Where do you live? In Newport. He said you can go to Krishna Groceries, which is over in Poughkeepsie. Yeah, that one on Route 9. Otherwise, if you're down in New Jersey, so you've got Edison and all of those places, or if you go to the Queens side, you've got all the Indian groceries in Queens. So pretty much now, like if you, I mean, look at it up on the internet and stuff, and you just put it, you'll find like even on Route, on the thruway, off of the thruway going towards Suffern, there's other Indian stores that are like, sometimes we don't even have to go that far anymore, you know, like all the way to Edison or all the way to Queens. We can just go, yeah, on 287, exit 47, there's another one.
Beach, Mandir Groceries, Beach Town.
Right off this door.
287, yeah, once it changes from 87 to 287, it's at 46.
दाल देंगे ना चार लोगों को दे गरम हो गया
So now he's got peanut oil again. So now he's putting hing and cumin seeds.
It's fun watching them.
मन करता है 5 मिनट
5 minutes to turn that down. So yeah. Legally, the fan's supposed to stay on at all times in this kitchen, but he's turning it off for 5 minutes because of the from the rice.
हो गया
Huh? And he's saying if anybody wants to go and have a look at the rice in the rice cooker, you can see that now. It's off. The lid's now we've got celery on the grill, and now we've got ginger on the grill. And as I think I mentioned yesterday, so here at the ashram, because of the non-use of onions and garlic, we use a lot of celery and carrots. Lots of celery and carrots for our bases of things, and tomatoes, and ginger, and coriander, and long story, but the simple version is that Gurda took an initiation into the Devi path many years ago, and one of the restrictions on that was no onions and no garlic. Yeah.
Makes a lot of rajas.
What? Yeah. Yes.
It's grilled just like a big frying pan that has even heat on it.
Yes, but you have to create the even heat between both of the dials, because they're individual, there's individual.
So like we're gonna fry just like this in our own frying pan.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yep, your own skillet, your own frying pan, yeah, any of it. But I would say you want it more flat than you want it, not like this. It's better if it's flat when you're doing these things so that it all gets done evenly. Otherwise, like when it's like in a wok like that, raw type size, yeah. And green chilies. And now the water on the stove with the rice is coming to a full boil, it's boiling. Just trying to hold your attention into all three items all at the same time. I don't want you to miss anything.
So, Viviana,
Yes.
if you didn't have celery, would you use onion?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's not possible to get celery.
Onions, yes.
It's
Yeah.
very expensive and
So right now he's just browning the celery a little bit. This is gonna go into, this is the meaty and the potatoes. So that's all gonna get mixed in, and that's gonna be our vegetable for today's lunch. And the fan just went on automatic, just so everybody sees that. Right? We don't want the fire brigade here. Too many, what is that? High wolf? Too many, like, what is it? If you, what? Too many false alarms and,
Serious trouble.
oh, good. So now Trouble is gonna take the strainer, go to the sink, and strain the rice. And now we're gonna add the potatoes that are cut in cubes and brown them a little bit with the celery. Is this for 30 people? Yeah, this is for 30 people. So I would have to say, like, at this point, you could either add, a spoon of ghee up there for flavor, you could add a stick of butter up there for flavor, and really, like, you have flexibility within that. With the bitter melon वो हम लोग नहीं वो करेला है वो crispy करेला वो ये same है और ये अलग है ये वो अलग है that's a different one yeah
वो फ्राई करते हैं
हाँ
crispy करेला फ्राई करते हैं
हाँ so the crispy bitter melon you would fry it deep fry
Is a certain type of potato better for this than another type of potato?
वो अलग अलग potatoes और ये भी अच्छे हैं these are all अलग
Yellow.
हाँ
White
these are white ones but yellow वो सब अलग अलग वो purple वाला वो भी ठीक है और वो अलग अलग
White अच्छा है.
white the white ones are good yeah
ये red थोड़ा sweet है.
huh
Red potato.
the red one has to be a little bit sweeter and
Make
the
way.
they're all fishy. Okay, so now
Who's gonna
he's
go to the
straining the
sink
rice
right
over there.
here?
Ambika, he's straining the rice over here, so you wanna.
Couple with it. Yep. Oh, that'll make it lovely.
ठंडे पानी का
warm water गरम थोड़ा
yes. We don't salt the rice. We don't what? No salt in the rice. नमक डाल दिया.
कुछ
No,
नहीं.
no salt in the rice. No ghee in that one. The ghee was nothing in that one at all. Just rice and water. सभी लोग इस तरफ जा सकते हैं और फिर वो थोड़ा सा I think everybody could take turns coming up to the grill. You just Gone. Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much. Very abundant of you. Right? Wonderful treatment on a cooking week.
Why do you look like this is
I'm not going to get up, so you can just stand close to me.
Right? Did you love it?
Very sorry.
You don't need it, right?
No puedo ir para allá, no puedo ir para allá. Te lo cambio. Querías que nadie la
Yeah, I feel like that has to be
Oh, fry.
Spices are
So long left. Yeah. Well, I was telling Rubiani and everybody yesterday that every time they make broth, I feel like, no, like,
He's not adding any spices to like get that off because once I put the baker, it already has some water in it, the baker, so naturally that'll.
I don't think so.
Still don't smell it up? Yeah. Call it without the.
Everybody always does it. They don't like it. They have to. I know this one.
You know what that's gonna do to our tummies? Cleansing Who needs Drano, right?
Did you make that hotter much?
Estaba solo,
Turn it down.
And the doll is still on a low flame. The dal is still on a low flame. Just a reminder to everyone, tomorrow morning, we won't be having the cooking class, but we'll be having the Anakut Puja, right? So that'll be from 10 to 12. And then in the afternoon, we'll be having our Anakut packing prasad, everyone together. And tomorrow, because we have plenty of the methi, we're gonna have the methi bhajia. So that'll be made by somebody else so that all of us can focus on the Anakut packing, and then we'll have the chai with the saffron in it. So that's all of the tomorrow. And then we'll come back here on Thursday morning, and that'll be the toast scramble. And we'll be using the grill again at that time. So you'll get to get onto the grill again on Thursday. And on Friday also with mung dal chilla and carrot chutney. So you'll also get to get on the grill 2 times more. And now he's getting ready to add a few spices. So now we've got the coriander powder, cumin powder, the red chili powder, but the one with less strength. And now he's going to add the coconut in a couple of minutes as well. And turmeric.
It's coconut flakes or?
This is the shredded coconut, the grated coconut. Yeah. उसके बाद वो जो पैकेट है वो खा सकते हैं। हाँ, बाद में करते हैं। Just have a look. Shredded coconut along with the spices all up on top of the methi, right? So that's how the coconut comes. If you don't have the fresh one, to like actually grate it out of the coconut because it's quite mature, then you can always go with the frozen ones, and that's pretty tasty. And that's what we also have for chutney.
Could you make that thing with cilantro? Is that thing?
Yeah, would you make so instead of वो जो मेथी है, पालक भी नहीं है, मेथी भी नहीं है, खाली वो धनिया है, धनिया बना सकते हैं? Yeah. No, he's saying no, we wouldn't recommend that. I think that would be like a peculiar thing, like a peculiar taste, like if you that's your if you love cilantro, then I'd go for it, but most people would you ever add peanuts to something like this? Signa? Huh? No. I think you enjoy, yeah, I think you enjoy it. Yeah, but yes.
Would you be able to replace the petty leaf if you can't find that with another green?
Yeah, we talked about spinach. You could do spinach, you could do kale, you could do any of that. Yeah. It's up to you which greens you enjoy, you know? I would skip the collard greens for sure. And you can also use mustard greens.
Why not?
Because they're too tough.
What
Too
about
tough. It's too strong of a flavor. You won't appreciate the rest of what goes into it.
maybe dandelions are too strong too, because they're bitter?
Yeah, depending on mustard, you can do mustard green stuff. Sarso kisal. They grill band kar diya or?
नहीं चालू है चालू है
Okay.
15 मिनट चालू है
He's saying you leave the grill on for like about another 15 minutes. On the low flame, yeah. On the low flame. So he's adjusted it already down to a lower flame. Just let it sit there a little bit. Again, you always want to leave that pause in between so that all the flavors come together. It's not like just quickly make it and then you want to let it settle. That rise and fall we talked about yesterday. Okay, so now आप करेंगे? हाँ. Yeah, so now Prabhu's going to show about the making of the papads. So these are obviously the roasted ones, not the fried ones. Better for health. And also everybody, I don't know if anybody, how many people saw the salt? No. You saw the salt? Yeah, so the salt got added to the alameti as well. We missed that. So now we're going to do it one more time. How many people saw that?
Yes, it was beautiful.
How many people, raise your hand if you saw it. Okay. And the idea is you definitely don't want too high of a flame, and you don't want too low of a flame. If you have too low of a flame, nothing's going to happen, and if you go too high, you're going to burn it, and you want to start in the middle and get the middle part done first, and then work your way towards the outside, going around in a circle. And he said make sure you keep on turning it, flipping it periodically, like a lot, not, don't leave it sitting there.
Can you show how you fold them as well?
We'll fold karnega, kaise karna.
Ramesh.
Right after, very quickly, otherwise it'll crisp and get hard and then it'll break. So you have to do it right away.
दूसरा टाइप से उसको गोल करके भी फोल्ड कर सकते हैं.
He's going to show another way of rolling it, like a dosa, not the folding like a fork fold.
Trying to figure out how to do that on the electric stove.
There's a, what?
Trying to figure out how to do that.
How would you do that on an electric stove? Very difficult. And we used to try to make them before we had burners and in some of our other living situations and at people's homes and microwaves. And you can do it in microwaves if you had that roundly, but you have to pay attention. I'm not recommending it by any means because sometimes it also catches fire. And if the microwave starts going like this, so definitely I wouldn't recommend going that route at all.
We don't put it on toast it.
But no, they don't burn. I just try it.
Try it. Gasoline is definitely the...
Sometimes when families come here, all the men get to the kitchen, cook together, which is like not a Western thing.
Okay.
Except for
Well, yeah, so for example, so say like the Bardwaj family, the ones that come from Maryland, all of them are North Indian, many of them have restaurants in Maryland. And all the owners of the restaurants and cooks of those restaurants, with all the heavy pots, are all men. The women have nothing to do with those kitchens whatsoever.
that is because it's commercial.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, so when they come here and they want the whole team of men and they're like in their thing with the heavy pots and the big stirring and, because it takes a lot of, yeah, exactly.
That huge, that big,
Yeah, exactly. Honey, up and on. And like Sharmaji, Poonam's father, like his, him and his brother, in the early years when we were in Livingston, many of them, they had a restaurant, Dalit, that was in New York City. So they used to come and they used to cook, but again, it was all the brothers, it was all the uncles, all the, yeah. And then the more delicate cooking is always the women. So the chapatis, puris, the vegetables, the dals, the little things, all the sweets, all the fun stuff. The what?
Into Vicks in Berkeley.
No.
No, you see what we do.
Okay. Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah.
So I noticed that Pablo stopped making the uppers. Is it because they become stale, like you have to eat them
No,
right
these
away?
last, you can put these in canisters and you can have them for, I mean, a couple weeks and they're not a problem at all.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
a
can
lot
make
of
them
the-
kind of ahead and...
Yep, you keep it ready, yep.
Okay.
You would just want to keep it in a container because otherwise sometimes they get too soft from the weather and then they all become flimsy. And then they lose that crisp. So you definitely want them in a container or a stainless container or something like that, airtight, yeah. And everybody heard it, right? So on one of the days, on Thursday or Friday, we're going to go over the making the offering so that everybody understands how that works. And you'll also get those sheets of the offering exactly as it is there in your slip cover. So you'll have that as well. Go home with your goodie bag.
Explain the spices and then medicinal.
That's going to all be on Thursday and Friday.
So with the dal fry, I'm more familiar with a much thicker dal fry.
Yeah, this is, I wouldn't call this dal fry. This ended up being just tur dal. That was what I said earlier, that the dal fry, normally he would either, sometimes he would either throw the dal up here on the grill, boil out a lot of the water and just pan fry it back and forth, or put it in one of the smaller pots that's down there, the aluminum one down there, one of those flat lower ones, and just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and getting it nice and thick and fried.
Semi-dal fry.
This is okay.
They'll be on there.
वो रहेगा 12:30 तक.
And he's saying this is going to stay on just like this till about 12:30. So it's going to stay with the flame on low as it is till about 12:30, and it's right now 12:10. So another 20 minutes, just
So that took about 40 minutes.
the whole thing for 30 people.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Maybe a little 45 minutes to do that. With food prepped already.
हो गया?
बस बढ़िया? सद्गुरुनाथ
महाराज की जय।
So everyone's free till 1 o'clock.